Continuing our discussion on the terminologies in the code, we talked about, or we mentioned, allowable area. We talked in Module 1.2 at FAR, which was the floor area ratio. The code for various types of construction, if these are types of construction, based on the tests, based on the observations, based on accidents that has happened, the code has taken into consideration that for every type of construction and every type of occupancy, which was that table 503 where you have the mixture of construction types, separations, and there's other charts that we will talk about and tables that we need to mention. But when you have a type of construction and you have allocated a specific function to it, whether it is a B occupancy for business, whether it is an M occupancy mercantile, there is a limitation on area in which you build the structure with certain functions. For example, you have a building that it is 100,000 square feet. And you want to make this a certain type of construction. And I'm not going to particularly mention anything, but you have a, let's say I call it a type X construction. And the code allows that for the occupancy type, let me backtrack for a second, the occupancy type is Y. So for the type X construction and a type Y occupancy, the area in which you can build is, let's say, 25,000 square feet. This area is determined by the fact that the type of the construction, given the occupancy and given the hazard for fire and other possible hazards, the limitation in the area causes that, or it creates a safety net. So if that is the case, and you want to still build this 100,000 square feet, but you're allowed to have 25,000 square foot for this particular, so what you do is that you divide this space to 4 segments. Each one 25,000 square feet. These are considered area separation walls. This word area separation walls comes across in code calculation quite a bit, and you will hear that all the time. You see a good example of this in retail, in shopping malls, in shopping centers, you have, let's say, TJ Maxx here, then the next to it is Target, then there is another one. So that's how they are divided up, and the type of construction for 100,000 square foot building, it gets divided up. Or another scenario for this, depending on the type of the tenant that you might have, if this is 100,000 square feet, there might be a let's say, if you go to another type, which allows larger area, then you might have a wall that allows you to have 50,000 in here, or 50,000, but you certainly have to move from this type of construction. So this is basically limitation in building area. And this is considered area separation walls. This, as I said, is quite a lot used in various types of construction, especially when it comes to retail, especially when it comes to areas that you are building with hybrid types of construction, which the hybrid ones were, remember, type 3, type 4 was heavy timber, and type 5 was a full hybrid, where you can use wood, which is a combustible material, and non-combustible materials such as concrete and steel. So this element of allowable area, which you see here, has to relate to this, and then of course the area separation wall, which you hear quite a lot in the process of designing buildings. This area separation is typically fire rated, typically 2 hours for most occupancies, and the 2 hour is basically if there is a condition in which you have to go through this to this space, then the opening has to be protected opening. This terminology of protected opening refers to a rated door which has to be placed. So when closed, the integrity of fire rating and the area separation remains intact. These type of doors can be self-closing, and sometimes they are, so let me write it, self-closing. And also, it is on many occasions smoke and heat activated. They close by the heat generated in case of a catastrophic fire, or it's because of the smoke that might be happening. Automatically these doors close to create the integrity of the separation. You can open it and exit from it, but if you open it, it closes itself. Again, to enforce the fact that you have that separation intact. We'll continue this on lecture number 3.